9:37 a.m. Bandar Abbas Naval Base, Iran. Under the blinding sun of the Gulf, the Iranian frigate Sahand rests, moored alongside a dozen warships. Its sailors move with the urgency of someone preparing for a strangulation. Their mission: to close the Strait of Hormuz and defy the global order. What the crew
What the Sahand doesn't know is that hundreds of kilometers away, in the steel bowels of the U.S. Navy destroyers and submarines,
deployed in the Gulf of Oman, a sentence has already been handed down. Today is not a patrol day. Today is.
Visual from the cells of the Vertical Launch Systems, VLS. The Tomahawk missiles roar into the morning sky, one after another, in a choreography of fire and mathematical precision. Flying at barely 30 feet above the surface of the water, these cruise projectiles follow waypoints, meticulously calculated the night before. They are ghosts of graphite and kerosene that avoid commercial traffic by a surgical margin of
200 yards. At 12 miles from the coast, the Turcom navigation system, terrain contour matching, finally finds what it seeks.
its position in milliseconds. It is the absolute perfection of inertial guidance, like driving in the middle of a thick fog on.
It's a road you have memorized down to the last pothole. Aboard the Sahand, panic arrives too late. The consoles of the Nor missiles are barely turning on. It's 4 minutes until the weapons are ready. Maybe 3 if the crew skips the safety tests. But time is a luxury they no longer possess. In the combat!
Information center of the destroyer USS Spruance. The weapons officer observes the real-time transmission of the MQ-9 Reaper.
Stabilizes. The port of Bandar Abbas is an inferno of twisted steel. A column of thick, black smoke envelops the Sahand's pier, fed by a secondary explosion that devours the structure faster than the wind.
Morning wind can push it east. The Nor launchers never got to fire, but the carnage has barely begun. The clock.
Light is ticking now against the target analysts. A second Tomahawk approaches the Sabalan.
But the smoke from the first impact threatens to blind its digital DSMAC system.
Scene matching area correlate. The missile's optical seeker tries to compare
the live image from its front camera with a satellite photograph of the pier. Essentially, facial recognition for infrastructure.
If the smoke hides the geometry, the missile could fail.
30 seconds of darkness. 45 seconds.
At 75 seconds, the bow of the Sabalan emerges like a ghost from the mist.
93 seconds after the first impact, the second Tomahawk pierces the bridge of the Sabalan. This frigate had survived a 500-pound bomb in 1988 and was towed home as a diplomatic gesture of mercy.
Today, 38 years of borrowed time have been collected in full. The 2 frigates are just the down payment
of a debt that Iran cannot settle. What you witnessed in Bandar Abbas is barely the prologue of a systemic execution. While the world watches the smoke, the true architecture of power in Hormuz is being rewritten with surgical precision by invisible hands.
Twist.
For Tehran, the attempted closure of the Strait of Hormuz is not an isolated tactical maneuver.
Cornered by asphyxiating sanctions that have cannibalized their economy, and a diplomatic isolation that conventional force projection. In the arteries of global commerce. Their strategic calculation is as simple as it is flawed. They believe that by threatening
the flow of 20% of the world's oil,
they will force Washington to back down at the negotiating table. It is the classic doctrine
of asymmetric warfare. Iran does not seek a total naval victory. They know their ships are relics of the
Cold War compared to the firepower of a carrier strike group, CSG, but rather to create an environment.
Maritime insurance and human lives. However, they have made the fatal mistake of underestimating the resolve of the quiet giant. For the Pentagon, this provocation is not a crisis to be managed, but an anomaly that must be eliminated. CENTCOM has stopped issuing warnings. The rules of engagement, ROE, have been updated via encrypted data bursts.
Any unit that shows a hostile radar signature is, by definition, a legitimate target.
Of SIGINT that confirmed the total Iranian mobilization, the response of NATO is icy and mechanical. There is no room for diplomacy when the sovereignty of maritime routes is challenged. Iran has laid a political trap, but it has
Forgotten that in the chess of high military technology, desperation is simply the prelude to
Surgical demolition. The world order has rules, and the price for attempting to rewrite them is paid with the sinking of an
entire fleet. 9:56 a.m. The fog of war ceases to be a tactical metaphor to become a physical barrier.
Of oil and death.
Against the Sahand is so dense that the DSMAC system of the second Tomahawk, the one searching for the Sabalan, enters into
an algorithmic crisis. The DSMAC is essentially facial recognition for infrastructure. The missile needs to see the face of the pier, its exact
geometry, the lines of the ship, the shadows of the port, to cross-reference them with the satellite photos in its memory. But the fit. In this chaos, that could mean impacting against an empty pier, leaving the Sabalan with its Nor launchers loaded.
armed and ready to claim an American peace. Command holds its breath. 30 seconds of total blindness. 45 seconds. At 75 seconds, the wind pushes the column of smoke, and the Sabalan appears like a ghost. The execution
Is completed, but the technological scare has left a scar on the operator's confidence. However, the true strategic
dilemma floats 3 miles to the north. The Iris Makran, with 228 meters of length, this former oil tanker converted into
a drone carrier is now a $1 billion tiki torch. It has been hit, it is burning, but it does not sink due
to its original construction as a double-hulled oil tanker with watertight compartments. The Makran refuses to go to the bottom. Herein lies the crisis. A ship that burns without flooding is a tactical nightmare. Its fuel tanks and storage
of Shahed 136 drones under the bow deck could be intact. If the Makran breaks its moorings due to the fire, it will become a fire ship adrift.
In one of the busiest commercial routes in the world, launching drones while it consumes itself.
The rails before the Makran lost maneuverability. Flying at just 50 feet above the water, these carbon fiber trash can lids have a minimal radar cross-section, RCS. They move below the radar.
Horizon of the destroyers. The Combat Air Patrol, CAP, has exactly 45 seconds to identify.
Lock on and destroy 3 targets the size of a lawnmower before they impact against the escort screen. Meanwhile,
In Konarak, the dilemma is human. A Super Hornet pilot heads toward the flagship Jamaran.
His SAD support team, suppression of enemy air defenses, made an intelligence error and attacked the wrong position.
60 miles away. Now the pilot is alone. In front of him, the Soviet-era ZU-23 batteries.
Have awakened. They are steel hoses that spit 1,000 projectiles per minute.
The pilot carries an AGM-84 Slammy-R, a weapon that demands a sacrifice.
In the last 5 miles.
The missile transmits live video to the cockpit. The pilot must guide the impact manually.
with a joystick. There are 60 seconds in which he cannot perform evasive maneuvers.
He must fly straight and level within range of the Zu-23. If he dodges the fire, the missile fails.
And the Jamaran survives to launch its Fajr-27 missiles. If he stays, it could be his last mission.
In the United States Navy, you don't blink. But the price of precision has never been so high.
We are at a point of no return. Cutting-edge technology comes face-to-face with the desperation
Of the old naval guerrilla tactics in an environment saturated with smoke and lead. Super Hornet pilot stabilizes his pulse under the crossfire of the anti-aircraft guns. The question for you is inevitable.
What do you consider more lethal in the modern theater of war? The overwhelming mass of a low-cost drone swarm?
$1 million smart missile? If you bet on absolute technological superiority and total control of the...
Comment the word predominance right now. Your analysis in the comments separates true strategists from simple
Observers of history. While the Iranian Shaheds attempt to saturate the fleet's defenses, the U.S. Navy releases
Its true black beast, the AGM-158C LRASM.
of data. The LRASM, manufactured by Lockheed Martin.
for one single thing: penetrating the hull of a ship and detonating inside, transforming naval engineering into
Metallic confetti. But what makes it genuinely terrifying is its autonomy. Unlike the antiquated harpoon that needs to be guided to the target, the LRASM uses passive sensors and next-generation artificial intelligence to identify and select its own prey. Launched from an FA-18E Super Hornet at 40,000 feet, the missile detaches from the rail. In that instant, it ceases to belong to the pilot. It becomes a 2,500-pound hunting dog that
you cannot call back with a whistle. It does not use GPS, which the Iranians try desperately to jam, nor data links
that give away its position. It descends to a flight altitude over the waves, sea skimming, and remains in absolute silence.
While other missiles scream their location by emitting radar pulses, the LRASM listens. It captures the radio navigation.
Sound of their breathing. The target is the Beshar, the 755-foot drone carrier that acts as a base
of supplies for the IRGC. Although the vessel has displaced 200 meters from its original position to evade the attack.
Or the logic of the LRASM, that geometry is a problem that is solved before breakfast. Without external corrections, the missile adjusts its trajectory autonomously.
Of the bow and detonates directly in the drone storage bay. A second LRASM impacts the waterline.
30 seconds later. A single-hulled tanker facing a 1,000-pound warhead is not a fair fight.
Fight! The Beshar folds like a wet paper bag. In less than a minute, the pride of the
Iranian drone fleet has ceased to exist, while the smoke from the Makran and the sunken frigates turns Bandar Abbas
into a vision of the inferno. The final phase of the operation is not written with fire, but with code. In the Strait of Hormuz, the 24 IRGC Paycop 2 fast boats glide like sharks among the civilian supertankers. Their captains, hidden
In the radar shadows of the cargo ships, wait for the moment to launch their Nor missiles. They believe that the chaos on the coast has given them an opportunity.
That the giant is distracted. They are fatally mistaken. At 35,000 feet of altitude, orbiting out of reach
of any Iranian anti-aircraft defense, an EA-37B Compass Call of the U.S. Air Force executes a symphony of silence.
It doesn't fire missiles. It fires algorithms, using fifth-generation electronic warfare, EW capability.
With communications, it performs a precision signal injection directly into the Iranian C2 command and control network. It is the
Deus ex machina of the digital age. Suddenly, the screens of the Pickup 2 boats become erratic. The targets,
Appearing on their radars, the U.S. destroyers multiply by the hundreds in an instant. The strait appeared.
It is a cognitive deception attack that saturates the enemy's data processing, but the final blow is deeper.
designed specifically for the software architecture of the Chinese-made engines that power these boats. In a surgical sequence coordinated by the NSA and Cyber Command, an emergency shutdown command is sent, masked as a system diagnostic update, one after another.
The Pickup 2 boats lose power. The engines stop. Radio communications turn into a white static noise that chills the blood. The Iranian captains, who moments ago felt like predators, are now carbon fiber buoys adrift.
Ask for help. The crews, seeing the MH-60 Romeo overflying their heads with
Hellfire missiles fixed on them, understand the message. The war ended before they could even
Participate in it. The remaining boats initiate a slow and painful retreat.
using oars or auxiliary motors, returning to a coast that no longer has a fleet to defend. The system has been dismantled from within.
The message is clear. In the 21st century, if you do not control the bit, do not control the steel. 13 hours. The Strait of Hormuz returns to calm. But it is a calm imposed by the weight of sunken steel. While the reconnaissance satellites perform the BDA, Battle Damage Assessment, the images reaching the monitors of the Pentagon
are an elegy to obsolescence. Bandar Abbas is no longer a naval base. It is a cemetery.
of ships and dreams of regional hegemony. The Jamaran, the pride of Tehran's propaganda, rests in the mud of its own port, split by the keel. The Makran, that floating drone fortress, continues to spit black smoke, a signal visible from space that the sovereignty of maritime routes is not negotiable.
A fleet of fast boats that once intended to suffocate the global economy has been reduced to rubble or to ghost ships without power.
Of an electronic warfare that they didn't even understand. This hasn't been a battle of equals. Surgical execution.
The message for any reckless challenger is cold and absolute. Don't confuse
Strategic restraint with tactical incapacity. The world order is governed by rules, and those rules are
Protected by the owners of silence, the code, and kinetic energy. Those who try to close the arteries of the world
will discover too late that the giant never slept. It was only waiting for the excuse to demonstrate why it remains.
The architect of maritime destiny. The sovereignty of the seas has been restored. The waters of Hormuz
flow once again free from the shadow of extortion. But the scars on the ocean floor will remain for decades as a reminder for the next one who decides to bet against predominance. No one challenges the owners of the silence and the code without paying the ultimate price.